Hey guys, apologies, haven't been doing this for quite a while. Lately a little bit overwhelmed. But let's take a look at these two articles that came out about 1 week back. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit late 1 week back, but better late than never, right? Anyway, let's take a look at the first one, which is about the Zion Road GLS, because recently there's quite a lot of talk on GLS. Whatever happens, the bids are low. So let's take a look at what this article says. All Green managed to get it at 1304 PSF PPR, which is not exactly considered very high, of course, if you compare to the kind of price that people were bidding for in that area, like maybe 2018, that sort of era. In fact, it's almost about the same, or actually it's not even about the same, it's cheaper because of Review managed to get it way higher with a lot of competition previously. But now there's only two bids and it's not even close to the previous plot. But guess what? The previous plot was already awarded, and there's no way with this kind of price point the government won't award it. So anyway, it was triggered from the reserve list because it seems like they already hit the minimum price and government was able to release it. It was kind of within market expectation because there's a lot of negative sentiment, such as what you can see over here: muted interest, cautious bids, weak housing sales, global uncertainties, high financing costs, property cooling measures. So basically everything are working against developers. Whether low housing sales or not, it really depends on the news, because there are not much launches in the first place and there's not much supply compared to, if you are talking about 2020 and 2021, that sort of era, we were talking about supplies of easily 30 plus thousand to 20 plus thousands. And that's why if you look at the proportion wise, it's almost about the same in terms of proportion. But if you're talking about with that kind of supply, then you want, with this kind of supply, you want that kind of sales, then it's a bit funny, right? We will definitely run out of supply, and I don't think that's a healthy thing that government wants, which is why they have been releasing all these plots. But the thing is that they seem to like employing this strategy, which obviously works, to release all these lands together almost at the same time. And this, of course, causes a lot of competition within developers, which is obviously what they want, because they want to cool out the market, and that's why they're doing all this, right? They won't directly announce that it's a cooling measure, but this is the way they do things, and of course it works. There is a potential oversupply. Basically, this is another land tour in a much better area, almost like a CCR kind of area, but obviously that means high supply with high PSF, because you may think that it's 1,003 while you may be able to get it at 2,000. That is barely not even your break-even price. Remember, all these prices are just a land raw only. There's a lot of things that goes behind the scenes before it gets launched, and by the time it reaches to you, there has to be a markup, because nobody's going to be doing this for free, especially the developers, which are mostly private. They have shareholders to answer to. They have a lot of things a lot of people that they have to pay in between. So many things: staff, architects, construction, lawyers, bankers, so many things that need to pay, and that's why you usually have that sort of margin, right? Parcel A was sold for much lower price because of the interesting new concept, which is the long stay service apartment, new rental concept previously introduced in November. Minimum stay 3 months, and it's not little. 700 plus for sale and almost 500 for long stay. The developers themselves probably thinking, hey, what the hell is really going on? But never mind, let's just go in and try, have a bid, and then see how it goes. But a bit lower lah. I don't think they're gonna lose money for sure. They're gonna be making money, but they probably are scared, and that's why they throw in that low bid, and they managed to get it because it seems that the government also don't really know how it's gonna be, and might as well and it kind of works in their favor to lower the prices, right? So currently abundance of 2,700 plus units. If you're talking about 2,700 plus, it doesn't seem like a lot to you. You remember, all these are very high PSF kind of area. All these units are not easy to move. If you're talking about is today you are entering at 2007 to 2009, how much do you have to offload this next time in the resale market? So the audience here has to be mostly of a different different level lah. Let's just think about it this way. And that's not all. Already parcel B is going to be launched, confirmed already. This is parcel B, and this one is going to be maybe question mark. If somebody is interested, they may trigger it again. That's why this is on reserve list, and that alone provides another 470 units. Imagine 3,000 plus units in this area. With this kind of PSF, Lentor, you're talking about 2,000 PSF. And the developers, they themselves are already worried. Certain developments are not exactly moving already. But if you're talking about putting the Lentor situation and the D15 situation in this area, in this kind of PSF, I think this is going to be a new challenge. And that's why developers are generally cautious. You don't really see a lot of bids in this few GLS over here. Okay lah, the two MRT stations here are a little bit redundant because it's pretty much in the same line, just depending on whether you want to work this one, how much MRT can you save. So it's like I don't think this is important. Of course you have a mall nearby, but this area the food is not cheap. Of course you may think that the people here can afford lah. Yes, they may can afford, but nobody wants to pay high for every single thing day to day, right? Not many lah. Let's just, even those people who stay at Marina, stay at Orchard, nobody wants, I want to eat one cai fan $30. Of course it's going to be expensive, but how many people can tahan? And that's why not many people, especially the locals, want to stay in this area, because nobody wants to spend $20 on the cai fan. Definitely not me. Nowadays, if I can get cai fan less than $5, okay lah, it's not bad lah. Of course must admit lah, you're talking about $5 with vegetable only. I think that was a little bit ridiculous lah. And this part is the interesting one, because a lot of people think that you sell the land, they get the land cheap. They're gonna sell it to consumers cheap, which is not the case, because later we will revisit this again briefly. But you look at the Lentor Mansion launch recently. They managed to get the land cheap, but did they sell it cheap? I think obviously not, right? So it really depends on the market at that point. When the market is more bullish, why would developers want to sell it cheap? So if they sell it more expensive, that means they're getting it for a wider margin, which we will talk about later. But let's take a look at the numbers. These are the land plots, and then if you look at the supply over here, why developers are cautious, I think it's very obvious already. All these are condos. Some of these are big condos, and maybe with much larger land size and all. This is going to be very, very fierce competition in this River Valley area. A lot of people are like, we know you like River Valley, but is it feasible for local families to stay on? That's another question mark. Maybe the younger crowd with lesser kids, or maybe don't even have kids, or maybe bachelor, they may want to stay in this area. But if you're talking about families, I don't think they really want to. So as you can see in the previous article already, there's a lot of competition on top of the competition over here. Riviera previously, you can see the land was bought at this price. Break even is lower because of cost of materials, and financing cost is not as high previously. Now it's a lot higher. In fact, I think it may actually be higher than this amount, and that's why they highlighted that they have to sell it lightly, this kind of pricing, even though break even is only about 2,002 over here. How much will the real break even be? Nobody knows, because it really depends on who exactly they engage, how much is it going to be, and all these are always estimates. Previously, Riviera was already break even at this price. That's why they were selling at this price. Those people who buy this development, I think I probably did a review about this 2 years back or 2-3 years back. I can't remember already. It's like such a long time ago. But those who want to sell it at 3,000 plus, I think this is exactly what we have been talking about. It is very important to be very logical and look around you what is actually happening over here. 2,200 plus, this was only transacted about 1 month ago. Previously, earlier in April, parcel A transacted at this, whether is it actually this is the PSF lah, 1,200 plus, whether is it actually this break even, nobody knows, because there is that component of service apartment. It's not like a pure residential anymore. Developers cannot just sell the whole damn thing and then expect to just make money from it. They are supposed to manage it, especially first floor. They have to settle the commercial component, and that's why this one is still a question mark. Is it actually at this price? Nobody knows. Is their main business model actually trying to manage service apartment? I don't really think so, right? It's more like a tryout thing. That's why it's like a new thing. And based on this, they are projecting to sell about 2007, 2009, which is quite fair given how the other launches recently has been. And this they are just based on numbers at this current juncture. By the time they launch, probably end of next year, I would think, how will the market be? And over the next few years, they don't have only 1 year to sell or less than that. They have a few years to sell. By then, how much will the prices will be? That's also another question, because it really depends on more of a macro kind of a market thing. But these are the numbers. Then feel free to go ahead and dig deeper a little bit on your own. But let's move on to the Canberra one. The recent one, Canberra, is only 10% higher than the most recent executive condominium sold. So it's okay, this one is the interesting one. We are not really sure. In fact, for me, I'm not really sure whether they award there. I think there could still be a 40-60 chance that they may award it. Maybe 60% they may award, but 40% they may not award, because after all, this is really quite a low bid, especially for this one. Disposal Avenue is like it's very close to Beauty World. And when this goes through, those guys are reserve residents are going to be, they are going to be in for root shock. And those people who are thinking that reserve residents are going to be selling 3,000 in the near future, I think they have to be realigned in terms of their expectation already. This is, like I said, the importance of numbers and being logical. This is where it comes into play. But the question now is that the Champions Way plot and the Upper Thomson plot is at 900 PSF PPR. Then with the government in between Woodlands here, Lentor here, 900, then suddenly in the middle 700, 800. A little bit funny, right? And in between there's a little bit of funny characters, lowballing, really trying their luck. But never try, never know, right? So all this a little bit low. I think it will be interesting to find out. I think they may still be unlikely to award it. In fact, I think they may award this one, may not award this one. But let me know what you think. Comment below, and let's just share our opinions. Right? Then I think important thing is that quite a lot of developers are running out of land. They need to be stocked. That's why they have to put. But they also want to be cautious. They don't want to overbid, and that's why now they are all throwing in lower land bid prices, since the government wants to drive up the supply and also bring down the market, right? Then how will it gonna be? But at the same time, will the developer, they may sell the land cheap, like I said, but will the developers end up selling you cheaper? That's another question. Or if they don't sell cheap, who is the ultimate winner? You have to be careful about that. Both are palatable, not near MRT station, and that's why not much responses. But we have seen over the years, again and again, how those developments that are not within MRT walking distance actually end up outperforming those that are within walking distance to MRT. That's why I don't think this is a problem at all. So the Canberra Crescent plot likely going to be selling at this price. I don't think 1,007. Don't talk about those like ground floor near Rugby Bin, that sort of thing lah. If you're talking about average price, I think easily at least to maybe about 2,000, because now it's like a accepted OCR price already. How much lower do you want to get? Over here, I think Previously we already talked about it. The upcoming the Upper Thomson route plot, not much. No people even want to take it because of the service apartment thing. A little bit funny to have service apartment in the OCR region. Why? Who came up with this concept? I don't know, man. I really hope some guy at URA comes up and hey guys, this is why we have a service apartment at the OCR region. It's interesting. We are heading into a new era of the property market from the authorities. I hope somebody really comes up and explains to everybody why. I think it'll be very interesting to hear their point of view. So let's dive into the land plot again for a little bit of perspective. Verdale was launched previously in the COVID era lah. They have the whole previous onboard people they sought lah. They all together, and then they ended up I think selling about 2008, 2009. If you're talking about 2000 now, and Verdale is just here. If reserve residents just want walk down, people are buying 27, 28 These guys here, I really don't know, man. How are this gonna resell, man? Won't people actually compare? I know the link have a few sub-sale lah, but the link is the link lah. It's quite different lah. It's like a freehold, but I'm not saying it's a good deal at all. But how long will this continue? I think that's another question. Probably this one, because of the fever over here, is driving up all the traffic over here. But once the fever here dies down, what will happen? And what will happen? Here we all distribute, right? Because ultimately, it's just one route now. Come on, guys. MRT is not a lifeblood lah. Everyone thinks that it's a lifeblood, but when you're talking about a few hundred thousands, a few hundred thousands for just one road, I think you can easily afford a few cars lah. Let's just put it this way. De Souza Avenue, previously Verdale got this price back in 2018, and 6 years later you're talking about being bought cheaper. Of course we are talking about post-harmonization, but even with the post-harmonization, this is surprisingly low. Break even maybe a little bit higher, but it is still low. They won't be selling to you for sure at 1,006. Confirm won't. But they will. How much do they sell? It really depends on the market now. We can project based on this current market, but 1 year later it's going to be a very difficult market. And from what we are seeing, they may actually drop interest rates soon, hopefully. How will that impact the market? I think time will tell very soon, but I pretty much have a idea how the environment is going to be in just maybe about half year to about 1 year. And by then, when they launch this for sale, if the market is more bull again, will lead to larger margins for the developers. This is the Canberra Crescent one. Previously there was the whole bunch, the Commodore, Water Gardens, all over at the left side, and then now it's on the right side of the MRT track. So this one is a little bit interesting location. It's more towards the HDB already. Previously it was more like a private enclave, Don't talk about this one. This one haven't even finished building yet, and this one also haven't finished building yet. So very odd shape, I would say. Really quite a little bit odd shape. I think if I'm not wrong, this is actually a small little piece of landed, a few there. Then this L shape, but this is quite a sizable piece of land, 300 plus units, so the density is not that high. And over here we are seeing previously Commodore break even is at this price. They sell 1,500, 1,600 around there, and today they definitely won't be selling at 1,500, 1,600. They will be selling higher. But if you compare, like I said, Woodlands 900, Lentor 900, then about 800 somewhere around here. I think they may still award this. Okay, I believe they may still award this. But how much would the developer, these guys over here, which is like, if I'm not wrong, linked to UOL, how much would they launch? I don't think they're going to be launching it cheap. Because ultimately, you need to know it's about a game of margins. right? Of course, everyone wants to wait. Want to wait, cash trap, not enough money, want to buy cheap. Everyone wants a bargain. Everyone wants a bargain lah. Everyone wants to wait lah. So it's fine. It's normal. It's perfectly normal. But keep in mind that previously with a break even, everyone thinks that Lantong Mansion is gonna be selling at 2,000 PSF, and then hence pulling down everybody else. But they ended up selling at 2,274 PSF, which is like the highest among all the Lentor developments so far. 26.5% profit margin lah. So if you add those margins over there, and these are based on the current negative sentiment market, if the sentiment eventually becomes more bullish, what will happen to the margins in the future? So that's a big question mark. In fact, those developers that go ahead and bid for this land in this negative sentiment kind of market, I think they are pretty smart actually, because remember what Warren Buffett always says: when things are down, that is his favorite time to buy. And certain developers, they are really going all out, especially Hong Leong, the Hong Leong whole group of them. You can see they're almost everywhere. They are really like stocking up land, I think for a reason. So they are planning ahead, because everyone only thinks that, hey, you should only buy property when the economy is hot, is good, everything is stable, job stable. But if you think about it, when everything is hot, is good, will the prices be going up? Will be going up. But when everything is down, when there's a lot of fear, people hold back, and prices go down, and then they fear that it will go down again and again and again. But the smartest guys will always pick up. I'm not saying that every single property is good to be bought, but you will want to be more careful and just pick the right ones and then hold, because eventually you are not going to be selling within 3 years. You cannot be selling within 3 years, of course, unless you want to pay SSD, and that one is a totally different case. I don't really understand why we want to pay SSDs unless your property has really appreciated a lot and you got other plans upcoming very, very soon. If not, then you definitely have to hold more than 3 years, and you need to wait for the market and the property to mature. And everyone wants to go for, I want to go for 3 years, and then I want to sell during DOP. For your information, I think most of the launches, if you haven't even 3 years, your property don't even TOP. And then they have this funny thing of like, I want to buy during launch, but I want to sell before the 3 year mark. I want to sell before the TOP, and then you want the price. You see, that's the funny thing about the market. People are mostly not educated, and then they make all the funny comments, all the typical market noises. They make a lot of noises, they make a lot of opinions, and then they have a lot of hearsays, and then these hearsays get spread around. But none of them bother to go and find the official data and sit down and really go and look at it. And then you have a much clearer picture of what is happening. It is very easy to panic because you don't know what you're doing, and then you kind of only rely on market hearsays. Then I don't think this guy, he always says that he doesn't read economic forecasts. He doesn't read the opinion kind of papers, because whatever is shared over other people's point of view, he probably has a much better view of the economy because he's informed. He knows a lot of things. But whereas people only look at the other way around, people only look at opinion, but they look at the numbers. Okay, so I'm telling you, don't just look at this video. Don't just look at other videos. Look at these videos, the more educational ones, and then look at the numbers and really sit down and know what you're trying to get into, instead of just relying on some hype up videos, hearsays, and then this one is good, that one is not good, I'll go and buy my course, then I can show you some things. Some people are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on course and then don't really have an idea what's going on, and then they just follow whatever they say they should buy. That's not the point of buying the course, right? Then might as well you just sign up. Okay, go and tell me what to buy in the first place. Don't bother go and understand. Don't bother go and pay for the thing already. Why would you want to pay for the content when you're not going to be using it? You're just listening to whoever is telling you, instructing you to buy this and that. That defeats the whole purpose. You always have to. Of course, you cannot be sitting around data, looking at data the whole day like I do. But you need to be more informed on the more important basics rather than just going down and then just wing it I think a few $1,000,000 is not gonna be something that you should be just winging it. And even though yes, most people are busy with work, busy with here and there, you need to know what you're busy for. You are busy earning a few thousand extra a month, 1-2,000, maybe $2,000 a month for their promotion. I'm talking about the general crowd lah. You're not talking about the high level. If you are increment, those guys increment is a few $100,000. Those are totally different things. But if you're talking about working for the promotion, $2,000 a year, there's like $2,000 a month. That's like $24,000 a year, which is not a small amount of money. But that means that's like a 10-year. $240,000. But if you make the right property decision within just a few years, it can easily cover that amount of money. So why would you spend so much time? I'm not saying don't spend time on your job. I'm saying that you should dedicate as much time to go and find out quickly what are the kind of properties that you should be getting into. Then make a logical decision so that you don't even have to work as hard, and then you can spend much more time with your family and work your money much easier, much better, right? Rather than just throwing it to somebody that's dubious, doesn't have a solid background of proven track record. That's a little bit funny, right? So anyway, that will be all we have for today. I know I'm a little bit back on other topics like Cassia, all these things. Give me some time lah. I also got other things to settle, and I'm like 1 week behind on this already. Some people are like, how come you not talking about Cassia because you're selling some developments over there. I'm like, hello, I got this one already backtracked. It will come. Maybe hopefully within less than 1 week. Okay, you will come. So stop rushing me. Your boss not even rushing for a job. Okay, that will be all we have for today. See you guys. Bye bye.